Hello everybody, this is Hammer Striker here. Just going to do a quick first look on the PDP that just arrived today, only 11 days after I ordered it. That storm really kind of messed moving things up. I did order this the day they became available, and I just got it today. So I haven't had a chance to take it to the range or do anything with it, but I just want to give you a little bit of first impressions on it. So the first thing we're going to start with is ejecting the 15 round magazines that come with it, with the scary orange follower. These are the same magazines that work in any M2 PPQ. So if you've got PPQs, you've got magazine interchangeability, and of course it is unloaded. The most obvious difference right up from the get-go is the slide is square. It's got larger, more deeply cut serrations front and rear. And overall, it's basically a PPQ with a square slide. You will notice the texture is different. It's a texture that you've come to be used to seeing on the steel frame, Q4 and Q5 steel frame guns. It's that same basic texture. It is comfortable. It fits well in your hand. It's definitely grippier, but it's not abrasive. And you'll see there's no finger grooves. So there are some changes that would be either positive or negative depending on what you want. Finger grooves have been getting a lot of hating lately, and when Glock took them off the Gen 5, that was kind of celebrated, so a lot of manufacturers are doing the same thing. You don't give up the replaceable back straps. It still comes with the back straps that the original PPQ came with. It does come with adjustable rear sight. The one thing I notice about the sights, they're really nice, clear, easy to see 3-dot sights, but the one thing that I do notice is the air gap between the sight on the front, when you look at the front sight and the two rear dots, is tighter. So it's going to actually give you the ability to do a little more precise shooting, but it may take you a little longer to pick up the sights. The air gap was a little bit wider on the regular PPQ. You could pick those sights up quick, and you still could easily shoot the gun accurately. But that is a minor difference, but having the adjustable rear sight is going to be nice. Overall, my initial impression is I do like the gun, and one thing, I'll do a little teaser. They did not ruin the trigger. And that's the whole thing with anything Walther does. They've got that industry standard trigger, the trigger that everybody wants to have on a striker-fired gun. There's the reset. I did that. It does, when you do the reset, if you do it right, it does come right on the wall. I kind of let off a little bit. I'm so used to a little bit longer reset and a nice short break. So the thing with the PPQ, it's got an awesome trigger. And Walther can only ruin it. They can't do anything really probably to make it better, and they didn't ruin it. I looked for that on the Q series guns, the steel frames when they came out, the trigger was nice. So if you're looking at one of these, you're going to get the same or maybe just a hair lighter trigger than you've got on the regular PPQs. You still have the rail, so you're not really giving up anything. There is one thing you are giving up. The extractor is a loaded chamber indicator. On the PPQ, it's longer and it really goes in, it recesses. So if you run your finger across it, you really can tell whether you get a chamber, round in the chamber. With this one, the only thing you get when there's a round in the chamber, and I don't even know if I can push it down enough to show it, is you get a hair of red right here. But really no tactile feel, just a slight raise. It's just imperceptible. For something where you just want to run your finger across it and see if you get a round in the chamber, it's not going to help you. That is one thing where they regressed. And of course, looking at it from this angle, you can see the obvious difference, and you can see why they made it square. There's an optic plate. And you'll notice the way the optic plate is set up, when you take the plate off, you do retain your rear sight. Now, one disadvantage to this from the steel frame series with the optic plate, that doesn't come with any plates. Now, they give you one free. There's a card you have to fill out, or you go to their website, fill out a form on a little card that they include in the box, and they'll send you a free plate for whatever pattern you want. But the other guns, earlier guns in the series, like the steel frame Q4 and Q5, came with a set of plates, so whatever optic you were going to put on it. From a box perspective, and I won't spend a huge amount of time on the box, if I can get a hold of it, it does come in kind of a cool looking, robust box. Kind of a suitcase style thing, a little bit reminiscent of the XDM series when they were still doing the suitcases. Not quite as big, it doesn't have a holster and everything in it. But you got a loader, you got a toolkit for removing the optics plate, you got your back straps, and of course the obligatory lock. Some information on like a quick start guide, and then getting your optics plate, and the manual's up under here. One thing this doesn't come with anymore is the target. It used to come with a shot target, kind of showed you the grouping that that specific gun had. This one didn't come with a target. But that was more of a novelty than anything that was really, truly important to anything. And it came with 2 magazines. It is, by the way, they still making them in Germany. At least the one that I've got sitting here on the table is still a German gun. So overall, when I first heard about the gun, one of the questions that popped into my head is, what is the problem this gun is trying to solve? Why does this thing exist? And did they wreck the trigger? Those were the 2 things that I was kind of wondering about. Well, they didn't wreck the trigger, and I think the problem they're trying to solve is to join the optics ready arena and have it where the optic wouldn't hang off the edges of the slide. The way they dealt with that is the plate was beveled on the Q5SF, so it kind of flared out and beveled in, and then the side, of course, flared out because if you look at the old PPQ, it was very rounded. Maybe they just wanted to have it nice and flat and flush so there wasn't anything sticking out. But beyond that, I don't think they've done anything to take away from what the PPQ was, even though I do have to say, other than kind of looking more robust and a little bit more sturdy looking, it's not quite as nice looking as the PPQ. The PPQ is just kind of a nice looking gun. As striker fired guns go, it's just got some nice lines, and it just is kind of smooth and cool looking. Not ugly by any stretch of the imagination, and I do like this pattern, but it's not quite as refined as the PPQ in the looks department. So again, this just arrived. I just picked it up maybe less than an hour from the point I'm filming this video, so I haven't had a chance to do anything with it other than look at it and kind of handle it. So look forward to our full review. I'm actually going to take it to the range, run it. This is a gun I had to buy myself. It's not a T&E, so it'll be a completely honest review based on the experience I have with this one right here in my hand. Maybe next week we'll be able to. It won't be this Friday's video because there's just not enough time to get to the range and run it enough to actually form a solid opinion on it. But it will be coming soon. I can't wait to actually get it to the range, get some rounds through it, and see how well it performs. I'm hoping that it'll work as well as the PPQ did. Beyond that, if you like our videos, please give us a thumbs up, share, subscribe, click that bell to be notified if you do. Check us out on Facebook, Patreon, Twitter, Instagram, kind of all over the place. Thank you.